again with the Island Guys FPL podcast. We have Dari and Gomzi in the house. And we are wrapping up the season pretty soon, guys. Talk to us.
Yeah, well, we don't the last stretch. We have about 5 or 6 more game weeks to go. So it's really just put your head down and push from here, you know?
What's the goals over there, Dari?
We just need to recap a lot going on before we even get into the next game week. I know you triple captain Kane, a lot of people
Fortunate.
Kane captain, and that injury was definitely a difficult one for people to swallow. We had the whole craziness of the Super League happening during the game week.
Yeah.
We had the verdict in the trial, which even a lot of athletes had input on. So that's a little bit of social thing going on. But yeah, for me personally, it's been a okay game week so far. I had Captain Kane. See Gomzi have a score behind him. They're 55. I think how much I'm on 64.
Nice.
Yeah, 55 kind of below average.
This is my first game week cracking the top 1 million since like game week 3. So finally into the top 1 million. It's been my worst season ever, but you know.
That's how it goes, man. I think this is one of my worst ones too, but we can't win them all. Should we talk a little bit about maybe just quick about the Super League and that kind of like prevents a team some of the big teams from going to play in another tournament, but that was put something down in the future, something that was not like happening next year. But yeah, let me hear a little bit of your thoughts on the Super League.
For me, being a Juve supporter and also even with Man United, like it was crazy to see how rapidly it was just developing. Like it just happened overnight, and they were like, "Wait, where this came from?" Because we know people were talking about it over the years, especially like Perez and the Spanish people, but to happen in Serie A, like, a lot of teams losing money, teams don't have their stadiums. So it was interesting to see, like AC Milan, a team haven't been in Champions League since maybe 2012 or 11. So, they haven't had that Champions League money. They want to, build their team. Inter have been in the Champions League a couple of times, but even them. So it's mainly Juve who has sustained that Champions League performance. So the teams in Italy do need money. They were probably looking at, okay, what's the best option for us to get some money? And I think joining the league would have been the best option for them. From the English perspective, I'll let Gomzi go into that as a Liverpool fan, especially the Liverpool guys had a lot of opposition to the league. I wanted more information on how they would do things and where money would go. Like, because they just had like 2 lines about supporting grassroots football, supporting women's football. But I do understand the perspective of the Italian teams. As I said, teams still trying to get the stadiums, and it's so difficult with the laws in Italy, in the States, trying to, build your own stadium and stuff like that. So I'll let Gomzi talk about the English perspective.
Yeah, as Darius and I was talking, before we started, we really believe that this was really an ambush by UEFA in terms of leaking the information regarding the Super League. It seemed as though a lot of teams weren't ready to deal with the backlash, and that's why it basically lasted 1 day or so. The Liverpool supporters were all up in arms generally. All the teams in the Premier League, their supporters were up in arms, protests, talking about the death of the game and all the hyperbole. So it literally died before it could even start, So, it was really an interesting 24 to 48 hours. But I think the people behind the Super League really need to sit down. If they want to come again, like Perez is saying, they really need to sit down and get a really solid plan and get it out to the people and sell to the people why this is of value to them. Because currently...
I believe you. I don't think that they were going to present this anytime soon, and it was definitely leaked because you would expect people who own billion-dollar corporations or companies or like clubs. That's not how they would like release something. They release new kits, new media in the proper way. So definitely, I feel like they were ambushed about it. I don't even we don't have enough information to say that it was something that was bad. You know, it was just what
Exactly.
was you.
Exactly.
And we have yet to see the whole prototype of like this is how money would trickle down to the teams that are not in the league. You know, so we don't really know. All we know that you know is that the teams will join in this league. And like I was telling you, there's a league in China, there's a league in the US that's before preseason, and players play. You know, but
yeah,
hey, that's how that cookie crumbles. So
I think there's something we could take 2 hours speaking about.
Yeah.
I actually was trying to organize my fantasy European Super League team, but the site was not loading today, so I'll have to wait.
Well, let's talk about a guy who hasn't played who hasn't been playing in Champions League for a while, Harry Kane. We took him. I had a triple captain him. What are we doing on Harry Kane for the rest of the season, guys?
I could go first on that one. I'm planning to sell him this week. I already have my transfers for this week plan. It's going to be Kane and Son out. It's going to be Salah and Watkins in. Get out early at the start of the show. My transfers are solid this week. This is one of the few weeks where I'm not confused. I don't have 3-4 different options where I need to ask someone which one you think is the best. It's going to be Kane and Son out, Salah and Watkins in this week.
So, Daryl, do you have any other assets who are blanking in game week 33?
Just Kane and Son.
And you're getting rid of both of them one time?
I'm getting rid of both. If I need Son back, I'll get him back later on. But for this game week, I think Salah is very important.
Do you have your wild card and stuff remaining?
I have free hit and bench boost. I do not have wild card. I have the free hit and bench boost still. So yeah, that'll be me this week. I think we'll wait to see down the road what happens with Kane. You know, he usually comes back and he's straight back into the team. Kane is not somebody who comes back. You know, Kane doesn't come back and plays 20 minutes, then 30 minutes, and then he'll start. He's gonna come straight back into the team when he's fit. So you just have to stay tuned and see what's happening there. Yeah, that is my team. The main thing that hurt me this week is Mendy didn't play for Chelsea. So that was really disappointing. But yeah, it's my first time back in the top 1 million. Not really a great accomplishment, but something I'm still happy for this game.
Who is your backup keeper for Mendy?
Foster from Southampton.
So you have 2 keepers who have lost their positions, basically.
Yes.
And you are getting rid of Son and Kane.
Yes, because I believe Tuchel is just giving Kepa 1 or 2 games, and I think Mendy is going to be back in. You think Kepa is in for the rest of the season?
I think Kepa is in.
Wow.
I think Kepa is in.
But I just me.
Yeah,
that'll make me realize. I don't think so.
What are your thoughts, Darius?
Well, looking at the numbers wise, if it's better, I would say like instead of taking 3 hits, if you're taking 2 hits, if you're taking 1 hit and you have Salah and Watkins, that might give you more points than a goalkeeper anyways. So it might make more sense to just, even if you take the blank on the goalie, bringing in Salah, who might be chasing that golden boot, might be the power move. So either here or there, you never know. A goalkeeper might save a penalty next week. We never know. And you still have the gamble if Tuchel put him in. So talking about Chelsea now, I mean, they look like they're playing ball. Anybody? I have Mount on my team, but is there anybody that we think is a lock for Chelsea right now?
No, I would like to talk on Chelsea a little bit because you see, Tuchel has come in and shown that he wants to rival Pep for the champion roulette master, and with Champions League in between game weeks 33 and 34. Or I should say on both sides of game weeks 34, I think investing in Chelsea at this point is a no. If you have already, cool. But to invest in them at this point because you really don't know who's going to play. I think he may have a strongest team, and maybe the weaker team might play in the league. But Chelsea's also battling for top 4, and that top 4 battle we're talking about 5 teams between 3rd and 7th who are 3 points apart, you know. So it is really tight there. So how he's going to rotate, is really a tough call. I wouldn't recommend trying to jump in on a Chelsea asset at this point.
I'll keep my comments very brief. I am not intending to bring Chelsea within the next 2 weeks or so. The next 2 game weeks, I am looking elsewhere. So I would say a no for me.
All right, and I think another team that might be vying well, Man City's off this week, so I feel like a lot of players have pulled off of Man City. Even we spoke about Man City last week. Liverpool is trying to push into the title. What are your thoughts on Salah going for the Golden Boot, Kareem? You think that Salah might be the guy to hold on to now that he might be looking for it, even though he got benched last game?
Yeah, I think that bench last game is his last bench for the season. Right. Salah is going to be looking for it down the stretch here. He's probably hoping that Kane is a little more injured than necessary, but I think he's a strong bet. Liverpool has been playing better. The Trent's creation down the right is giving more chances. What's that you're holding up there? But I think Salah looking for this will be his third Golden Boot. I think he is definitely an asset to look into.
I was holding up the 100 sign there that you use on WhatsApp. 100%. I agree with what you were saying there.
Okay.
I think that was Salah's last bench for the season. I also think, although Mane finally got a goal, like 80% of anything is going to come from Liverpool is going to come from Salah, I believe, with probably 10% Jota.
Jota played really attacking in that game, but I mean, I own Jota.
The rest of the guys. So as of now, I own Jota and Trent Alexander, and I'm going to add in Salah this week. So I will have the full complement of Liverpool players in my team going ahead. I think those guys are going to be chasing that.
Trent for Liverpool, however, to me, is the number one asset to have. Trent has been on fire creatively, and he's just racking up bonus points.
He wants back into Southgate's plans, and so I got Trent on the wild card, and Trent is gonna stay in my team. Salah,
I think he has 4 straight games of maximum bonus points, which had to be some kind of record or some kind of that's just amazing. Regardless of whether they're losing clean sheet, regardless of whether he don't score, he's still getting 3 bonus points. You know, those things.
Schedule is looking amazing.
Liverpool's schedule looks like a good push. So Darius tripling down on Liverpool.
I also have triple Leicester right now because the Leicester. I know we're talking about Liverpool. I'm just looking at the Leicester schedule there. The next 3 look amazing. I have Ehi, Anacho, Vardy, and Fofana.
Right.
So those are two teams
I would just want a slight caveat on Leicester. They're supposed to have a blank coming up because of the fact they are now in the FA Cup final. So in terms of if you go heavy on them and you don't have your wild card, then when they blank, either you use your free hit or you would have to be, selling them, taking hits kind of thing. So just a little caution on that. But
I may have to sell, but I have a strong bench as well right now, because right now I'm holding from Arsenal on the bench. I have Smith Rowe.
Right.
I have Luton from Burnley on my bench as well. I have a fairly strong enough bench to handle those things right now.
Right. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and then looking, and even this is like going off of what we were talking about with the Leicester coming up. The guy in form is Iheanacho, and the guy is in tremendous form. Does everybody have him on their team? I brought him in last week for this game, tomorrow's game on Thursday against West Brom. So hopefully he could bag in a couple more.
So I have Vardy and Iheanacho tomorrow, and I am looking forward to.
Yeah.
I have somebody else too. Who else?
I have Fofana as well.
Fofana. Right. This is my team so far for this game week. My triple captain. Yep.
Oh, very good. It's 70 points.
Awesome.
I have coming in there. I have Watkins coming in too. But yeah, so going off of that, coming up to the next game week, who are defenders that we have to put into our teams? Who is the
Before we
defender
get into that,
actually?
also just want to talk on as you were talking about Chelsea. Just one more last thing before we go into that. I think the biggest game this week and the one that will cause people the most headaches is the Chelsea West Ham game, because we were speaking about Chelsea previously, and that's the game where really fourth place could be decided right there, or it will at least have a big impact on the fourth place. So for the guys with Lingard and maybe Aspilicueta or Chilwell, it could be a couple headaches going into that one there. So.
Yeah, and also that game is Saturday, but then Chelsea's Champions League game is Tuesday. So talking about the rotation before West Ham may be facing a slightly weakened Chelsea team, it might give the opportunity for Lingard and those guys to really attack the Chelsea defense that has been really stellar for the last half a season or so. You know.
Yeah. The Chelsea team is gonna be hard to pick from. The Man City team is gonna be hard to pick from. I feel like Leicester's gonna rotate their players because they don't have that deep of a bench. So whenever they have their double game week coming up, but apart from that, I mean, just looking at the schedule, there might be some players to put in your team that this week that could get up the rankings.
Well,
yeah.
Going back to defenders, that I just asked about, I have Trent this week, so that'll be a strong one for me. I also have a Saiz strong Wolves. Should be home to
Saiz, he's playing against Burnley, Trent against Newcastle, so that is good so far.
And I have Fofana from Leicester, so those are my three defenders. I think they all have good games.
Yeah. Who you thinking of, Gumzi?
Well, Trent does definitely stand out. If I had to look at somebody kind of maybe off the radar for this game week in particular, those people who have the Brighton assets from since game week 29 when they had the blank game week.
Right.
People who have been holding Brighton, you can look at men like Veltman and stuff, because Sheffield United is a combination of leaking goals and not scoring goals. So it's really a good chance maybe for a wing back like Veltman to probably make a 15 points, goal, clean sheet, 3 bonus points kind of thing.
Yeah, and on my end, I feel like I agree with you guys on the Trent, and even, if you have to rotate it as well too with Robbo, I feel like if you're pushing, like, go for these guys, because right now Trent is really getting far up the pitch on their team. And in terms of Burnley too, like having like Saiz, like you said, Dari, Saiz could definitely hold in a clean sheet. I think that Wolves Burnley game is a good chance for if you have a Wolves asset to get.
What I would say as a caveat for that is that Burnley has been attacking a lot more recently. So they're not the Burnley that we know in our minds who, more on the defense, that kind of thing. So whilst Wolves have looked good in the last two, I wouldn't jump out to say that they're going to keep one against Burnley. Burnley's been attacking a lot more.
So
I have one defensive question. Anybody has I know a lot of people have Dallas, and does anyone have United defensive assets? Because are we thinking that game could be like a 3-2 Leeds Man United?
Yeah, I have Shaw. And I would look for Shaw for offensive returns, but not necessarily defensive returns. Leeds proved that they could play with anybody. I think the first time they played United, they get a proper curtail, but they might do better this round.
What would be a recommendation for the owners of the Dallases and the Shaws then?
If you have those fellas, you play them. Yeah, I mean, Dallas showed you against City. You just don't bench attacking defenders. You have them for a reason. Play them. You never know when they could get an attacking return.
I agree with you. Full-heartedly there. In terms of the midfield play, we have good fixtures by Leicester, good fixtures by Liverpool. Good fixtures. Yeah. Brighton as well. That's a good fixture to have. Attacking midfield, a midfielder that might be giving you something in attack. Where would you guys look to right now to bring in a player?
For me, I would start and say, Darrell's team United, or his second team United. I think playing Leeds is always a good attacking fixture because of how open Leeds play. So you have Bruno Fernandes, who's currently my vice captain, and then you have also your Rashfords and your Greenwoods as alternative if you're looking for differentials to boost.
I am loving Greenwood right now.
The guy hot right now. He hot.
I would put Greenwood in your team before Rashford right now, to be honest. I am loving Greenwood. I think Ole is going to start him from now till the end of the season. I don't see Dan James or those guys get
pick.
The question with Greenwood, however, is it kind of comes down to how much Ole wants this Europa League, you know, because if depending on how he rotates, Cavani might come in ever so often, and United has been playing with this midfield duo of Fred and McTominay, I believe, which means Pogba is playing further up. So when you have Rashford,
he's looking good there too.
Yeah, so when you have Rashford, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, and Cavani, you're talking about 5 players into 4 spots, you know? So Greenwood and Cavani, to me, off the top of my head, are the ones most likely to rotate, because I believe Rashford, Pogba, and Bruno, are more or less locked.
Rashford managing his injuries right now too. So
true. So yeah, so he might get here.
I would go with Greenwood while he's hot. I would have no hesitation. I would have no hesitation going with Greenwood while he's hot, to be honest. For sure.
And as well from the Liverpool side, in terms of attacking midfielders, you have Salah, you have Mane. Mane scoring hopefully for Liverpool's sake. He's back, you know, going to start a little run now, and he could be a major differential down the stretch.
Someone I would look at as well, maybe not necessarily for this game week, but a name just for guys to keep in mind, St. Maximin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. He's looking good these past couple of games. He's looking really
good. Newcastle has some hard fixtures though. If I remember correctly, they have some hard fixtures. So maybe toward the last couple of games, but I think now they have some hard.
He caught my eye these past few games. But I think
he was fine. I think he got hurt in one game, but he's fire right now. And James Maddison is also back too. So if I was taking a punt on a player against that Crystal Palace, I feel like James Maddison be a good player to come back into the team, into the fray.
Not a bad shout at all.
Yeah. He's definitely one of those type of guys. And on top guys, well, we saw Lacazette out. I know a lot of people picked him up. Apart from having Harry Kane with a yellow over his head, because he might be a maybe for this weekend. Who are strikers that we could look forward to?
Well, as I said previously, my front three going into the next game week will be Vardy, Ehi, Nacho, and Watkins. So those are the guys I would want right now.
Yeah, those are 3 solid picks. While everybody had no money and could only afford Iheanacho, I saved my money diligently and bought Vardy instead of Iheanacho. Right. And my rank has dropped like a big stone as a result. But yeah, Iheanacho definitely looking like the man. He has an excellent fixture in game week 33.
This is not a recommendation. Somebody I want to see score a goal. This is just from my heart, not from fantasy speaking. Ryan Brewster at Sheffield United. He costs like 24 million and he's on 0 goals for the season. So before they go down, I know they're already relegated, but before they go down, I want him to get 1 goal. I think this might be one of the best fixtures for him to do so.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell anybody to go out and buy Brewster, but I'm hoping he does get a goal this week.
Yep.
Yeah, that not looking likely.
Yeah, looking like it at all.
Guys, the big thing I want to talk about before we go any further, Darius, please pull up the FPL Island Guys League.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about our battle on top.
I think that we should have opened the show with this discussion, to be honest.
All right.
We were going to talk about the top 2, but look at number 3, Dirk Solomon there. That's a name we haven't mentioned much for this season, but I think he would have to be included in the battle.
Yeah. I don't know if it's updated yet properly on the website, but when you use livefpl.net, they have updated league standings. You have Omari Blake on top.
Right.
Sorry.
No, I just wanted to see who these guys have remaining for the game week that's currently going on. I don't know whose team Darius.
Actually, so this is so starting from the top. Javon has
okay, that's Javon.
Yeah, Javon has Iheanacho coming in for tomorrow.
They all have Iheanacho.
Oh,
They all have Iheanacho to come here.
I think we have a big battle in our league here, guys.
Yeah. Right now, Omari leads by 11 points, and then we have about 9 points back to Duke. So about 20 points separating the top three.
I think before the season ends, we need to have all three of these guys on the show. I think we need to get these three guys on the show, and maybe they wouldn't want to give all their secrets and their transfers, but we can see what we can do.
I mean, at the end of the day, too, our next thing, too, is just they might make the last move, but also, too, you know, it's having the right combination of players, you know?
Yeah, let's see. I want to see this third place team, Dirk Solomon, because I haven't
Dirk's
really looked at
team
this team all season. He's someone I haven't paid attention to this season.
Everybody really have the same rotation of players. I mean, apart from like his Cody would be different, but
I
everybody really, they probably
so
gonna. Yeah, this.
Also, if you go back to the league table, our guest next week is in 6th place. Alan is our guest for next week. So shout out Alan.
He has the Kane and Vardy. Again, no big variance. He was probably hoping for Gundogan to have a good goal today.
So we could probably get some insight from Alan next week, and then we need to try to get those top three guys in the final shows.
Yeah, let's make our under the radar pick for this week, guys.
All right.
Yeah. So
let me finalize mine.
Under the radar is any position. Yes?
Yes, but under 5% owned.
Great. So then I have a nice option to start off with. I think he's 3% owned, 3.2% when last I checked. Playing against Leeds in hot form, young gunner Mason Greenwood. Young shutter, I should say. Not to be confused with an Arsenal gunner. Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, hit it on the nail, the nail there.
I grab it early.
I'm gonna go defensively with Castagne from Leicester.
That's a very different pick.
Yeah, Leicester should have a clean sheet, and he can get some attacking points. He has a goal and 3 assists on this season, so he can chip in with something.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go against the grain there, and go with the team that we say we're not taking people from, but I'm gonna go with Pulisic against West Ham. And I feel like
Gumzi shaking his head there. Respond to that, Gumzi. Respond to that. He's shaking his head there.
That looking like a 1 point of the bench. I didn't see it.
the man. I was watching the last few games. The man is on fire, and he just always coming short of like.
Just remember, Saturday is the game and Tuesday is Champions League.
Yeah, I totally feel you, but
right, okay, fair enough.
But he will be the man to win it for them in London. So that's a good London derby, and he is a Mr. Big Shot. So
yeah.
Any bold prediction, guys? Any bold prediction?
Bold prediction. All right, bold prediction for this game week. I will probably go against. I'll probably go to say that Leeds will beat Man United 2-1 at home.
All right. I have one as well. Wait, let me prep for this. I'm speaking when I make this prediction. I'm speaking to Omar Romero, Andrew Samuel, our previous guest. I'm going with West Ham 2-0 over Chelsea.
Woo!
Because Chelsea,
as
Gomzi just said, Chelsea is going to be focused on Real Madrid. And I'm going 2-0 West Ham. David Moyes is going to have these boys ready. Jesse Lingard is going to be dancing, doing a moonwalk.
On Chelsea. That's a London derby. So.
Wow, that's a big call. For me, I will go with Big Sam. I believe that the revival is well and truly on with West Brom. Villa without Grealish is not the same. And West Brom for an away win against the Martinez owners, 3 points for them.
Clean sheet on gonna be dirty. Clean sheets not clean anymore. All right.
Not clean anymore.
Not clean sheets. All right. That looks like a wrap on my end there.
Yeah.
Guys,
Of
so it was
everything.
good. Once again, everybody, we're gonna have Alan next week, number
Next
6
week.
in the league, to learn us some of his expertise. What's carrying him up to almost challenging for our title this season. FPL guys on Twitter, FPL_Island guys on Instagram.
See you guys.
See you again next week.
All right.
Good night, all.
See you guys.